For the next 100 days, I'll be surviving as Metal Shin Sonic in hardcore Minecraft. Using my plethora of super weapons, I will ravage my enemies and speed my way through obstacles while growing into bigger and stronger forms. Will I be able to overcome Shin Sonic's ultimate form and become the superior hedgehog? Or will I be crushed into scrap metal? It was time to find out as I spawned into Eggman's laboratory. I was standing before Dr. Eggman himself as his latest creation.
Welcome to the world, Metal Shin Sonic. Once I use this device on you, you will take your rightful place as the strongest Shin Hedgehog.
Suddenly, the room trembled as Shin Sonic broke inside.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
The horrific creature rushed towards Eggman's machine and busted through, pushing us out of the way. The machine then suddenly activated, mutating his form even further.
No, that's not meant for you, Shin Sonic.
We watched as he morphed into a powerful new form. He had elongated, insect-like legs and 2 sets of monstrous jaws. He was now 100 times stronger than before.
This power belongs to me, not some cheap clone.
No! That power was supposed to be mine!
I'll crush you before you even have the chance to surpass me.
Without hesitation, Shin Sonic crawled towards me, unleashing his hyper beam attacks. It was clear that I was no match for him in his empowered state. With no other options, I ran for my life, but this made Shin Sonic laugh in delight.
Try to run!
On day 2, I was being chased through Eggman's facility by the upgraded Shin Sonic. Despite his massive size, he was far faster than me. It seemed like no matter where I turned, the beast was lurking around every corner.
You can't outrun the fastest creature alive!
I couldn't keep running. If I wanted to survive, I needed to find cover. I ran in search of a place to hide, passing by something super interesting as I did. There are loads of secrets hidden throughout the video. Watch until the end and try to find them all. I found a metal reinforced door that was sealed tightly shut. Using my robotic powers, I was able to hack into the security system and open the door. I raced into the room and locked it behind me just before Shin Sonic could catch up. He banged on it from the other side, trying to break his way through.
That will hold me back forever!
Soon enough, I entered back into Eggman's lab. There has to be something in here I can use. I turned and discovered a secret experimental upgrade in the center of the room. I knew it could be dangerous, but I had no choice but to use it. Against my better judgment, I grabbed the upgrade, causing my body to transform into a new shape. My legs elongated and my face split open into a massive mouth lined with terrifying teeth. I was now the next form of Metal Shin Sonic with 5 more hearts and new powers. Suddenly, the alarms went off around me. I had accidentally set off Eggman's security system and opened all of the locked doors.
Here I come!
Shin Sonic charged in and I braced for battle. On day 3, Shin Sonic closed in on me and I quickly dodged out of the way. You'll have to be quicker if you want to catch me.
I'm the fastest hedgehog in the universe. Not even a clone like you could compete.
He came in for a bite attack, but with my back against the wall, I was able to unleash my power onto a nearby control panel. I hacked into Eggman's security system, causing turrets to drop into the room and target Sonic. Fire! The cannons unloaded a barrage of rockets onto the monster, buying me enough time to escape the area. I ran outside, but my retreat was cut short as I was confronted by a horde of Tails clones.
We're handing you over to Shin Sonic.
I was facing down a horde of little monsters. If only I had my Myras here, this would be an even fight.
What are Miras?
You haven't heard of Miraibo GO?
No, what's that?
It's a world like no other, where you can explore, battle, and build, all in one place. Miraibo GO launched globally on October 10th, bringing the first ever true free-to-play experience that combines monster catching, survival, and construction elements into a seamless cross-platform adventure. Whether you're on a mobile device or PC, the world of Miraibo GO is at your fingertips. So click the link in the description and get started today. In this epic world, you'll discover over 100 unique mythical beasts, each with their own forms and personalities. Capture your favorites, train them to help in epic battles, or even let them assist you with automatic resource production as you build and manage your very own base. Jumping on to play Miraibo GO feels like discovering your favorite anime for the first time. I was struck by the awesome environment and variety of Miras to interact with. Watching them farm food and roam around is super cool. What's also great is that you can play online with friends or join a guild that suits your playstyle. Special launch bonus download today for a treasure chest of generous in-game rewards. Don't just play, bring friends along and share the adventure. This Halloween, the game launches its first major update. Kicking off the new season, Season 1 Abyss Souls. Dive into Halloween-themed gameplay with new maps, pets, characters, and PvP action. It's the perfect time to jump in. Download via the link in the description to claim my exclusive gift package packed with awesome rewards. Thanks Miraibo GO for sponsoring this video.
That sounds cool and all, but we're still handing you over to Shin Sonic.
Not on my watch! I prepared to take down the Pipsqueaks, but to my horror, they piled up into a single entity, transforming into the powerful beast Shin Tails.
Let's see who the stronger Shin creature really is!
Without hesitation, the mutated fox lunged towards me. On days 4 through 7, I was fighting against Shin Tails to prove myself as the superior being. He used his spit attacks on me to try and take me by surprise. Luckily, my metal armor allowed me to endure his attacks. I came back at him with my electric bolt attacks. The two of us were neck and neck, but ultimately he was still getting the edge.
You'll never defeat me in that tiny form!
I'm not defenseless. I'm the machine that was built to defeat you and your boss. He came towards me with a piercing tongue attack, but I was able to catch him off guard. Zapping him with my electric powers, I was able to wound his tails and stun him in place. Unfortunately, my counterattack backfired as the electricity around us accidentally set the area ablaze. I took my chance to run as Shin Tails regained control of himself.
You'll pay for that!
I dodged and weaved through an ocean of flames as the terrifying monster closed in behind me. Things got worse when I was soon cornered at a pit of boiling lava. I could see Shin Tails closing in. I had to think of something fast. On days 8 through 10, I took a leap of faith and began to platform over the lava pool. I was making good ground until I turned and spotted that Shin Tails was platforming as well.
I may not be able to fly anymore, but I'll crush you!
I picked up the pace, doing my best to close the gap to the other side of the lava pit. The end of the platforming was far from reach, but I had no choice or else Tails would end me for sure. After a bit more jumping, I managed to reach solid ground, but Shin Tails was closing in fast. Time to test out some new tech. Missile attack, go! I launched missiles from my body and toward Shin Tails' direction. He was able to dodge most of them, but eventually my missiles landed, doing heavy damage. With one final blast, I sent Shin Tails into the lava, destroying him once and for all. Upon his death, he left a new upgrade in his wake. I was able to grab it, and I felt immense power surge through my body. I bent down on all fours as the nightmarish power consumed me to my very core. I grew even larger in size, gained 5 hearts, and new powers. I had reached my 3rd Shin form. Suddenly, my scanners activated, causing me to see holograms of my upcoming Shin threats to come. Shin Tails was only the beginning. That's it! If I can kill all the Shin entities, I can use their powers to make myself stronger. Just then, the ground trembled under my feet as Shin Sonic bursted out of the Eggman facility in the distance.
You think some measly human weapons can stop me? Where are you, Metal Sonic?
Oh no! He's gonna catch up if I don't get out of here! Shin Sonic then began sending out a flurry of powerful projectiles in the sky in an attempt to kill me. The projectiles he blasted started to make their way towards me, and I made a run for it. On days 11 through 14, I was running through the overworld as Shin Sonic's projectiles rained down, wreaking havoc around me. I did my best to avoid the explosions, until I spotted a flurry of unavoidable balls of fire hurtling towards me. No! Suddenly, Eggman landed and deployed a shield protecting us from the overwhelming amount of fiery projectiles.
Looks like Shin Sonic was one step ahead of us. He used my device and is now stronger than either of us could have imagined.
What's my new objective?
You still must overpower him. You will be the ultimate Shin life form at any cost. Go to my grandfather's old lab.
Eggman handed me a map, and I quickly picked it up.
He will have the answers we seek.
With my new mission understood, I used Eggman's map to set off towards his grandfather's lab. After a bit of traveling, I arrived and made my way inside. Within the lab, I found all kinds of tech, including a Chaos Emerald being held inside of a chamber full of blue liquid. That can give me some of the strength I need. I smashed through the glass, but to my horror, the blue liquid transformed into a terrifying chaos monster. The experiment grabbed the Chaos Emerald and lunged at me, ready to kill. On days 15 through 17, I was fighting against the Chaos Experiment. The monster used his mighty punching attacks on me, dealing devastating damage thanks to the power of the emerald. I tried to fight back with my elongated arms, but every time I hit him, my limbs would pass through the enemy like water. His punches hit hard, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna beat this monster. I did my best to avoid his attacks, but he was too slippery. If physical attacks won't work, then I'll have to show you just what I'm made of. I unleashed a powerful electric attack that spread through the monster for loads of damage. That's it! Electricity is super effective against water. Take this! It went back in and began unleashing all of my Metal Sonic power at the monster, and he was slowly losing his strength. He fell into the blue liquid, and I zapped my power into it until the monster fell. When he died, the emerald emerged in front of me, fully intact. At last, I'll be one step closer to my true potential. I reached out towards it, only for a Tails clone to swoop in and snatch it up first.
Thanks for the emerald. Shin Sonic will be pleased.
What the? I thought I killed the last of you.
You killed the clones. As long as I live, we live. See ya.
Tails then flew away in hopes to take the emerald to Shin Sonic. Hey, get back here! I ran after the Tails clone as fast as I could. Under no circumstance could I allow Shin Sonic to get any stronger than he already was. On days 18 through 21, I was chasing the Tails clone as he flew high in the sky above me. I tried to zap him down, but he was fast enough to dodge my electric attacks. You won't escape me! Tails tried to fly straight upwards, but that gave me the opportunity to launch my electric missile into the sky and land a clean hit on the runaway box. He crashed into the ground and died, leaving the emerald for me to take. Hopefully that's the last Tails I have to deal with. Just then, Eggman came forward.
Excellent work, Metal Shin Sonic. Now hand over the Chaos Emerald.
Why would I do that? I was the one who got it. Clearly I'm stronger than you.
What? But you're my creation.
I don't have to take orders from you anymore. I use another lightning missile attack on my creator, killing Eggman once and for all. With him out of the way, I was able to activate the emerald, causing my form to once again change. I grew even bigger in size, and my armor became 10 times stronger. I had reached Form 4 with 5 more hearts and new powers. I'll fulfill my objective of defeating Shin Sonic without your help. This is my mission! Suddenly, the ground trembled under my feet. I turned and saw the massive Death Egg robot entering the area.
Threat detected. Must avenge Eggman.
The Death Egg readied his weapons and fired. On days 22 through 25, I brutally faced off with the Death Egg robot. He used his missile attacks on me, doing crazy damage. I dodged, but he fired rapidly and his weapons packed a punch. Let's see how you like this! I fought back with my missile powers of my own, but they were hardly strong enough to break through the Death Egg's defenses.
Your resistance is futile. I was constructed with superior metal. With the damage you're taking, I'd think you were pure aluminum.
He came after me, swiping his deadly claws, but suddenly my new flight abilities took effect, allowing me to dodge the attack. At least this tin can is able to fly. Let's see what kind of damage you can do to me from down there. I used my electric attacks from the sky above, giving me the advantage. I flew all around him, dodging his missile attacks, but I wasn't sure how long I could keep this up. Even with the advantage of flight, he was able to hit me with a missile attack, leaving me with low health. It seemed like my flight powers weren't enough to help me stop him. Not good, I gotta hide. I used my new boosters to fly away and slip into a hiding spot within an industrial compound. That was lucky.
Where are you, traitor?
He searched the area for me, but I laid low, trying to stay undetected. While I was there, I spotted something cool, but I quickly lost sight of it. Did you see that? Watch the video back at 0.25 speed and see if you can find it. Suddenly, the ground shook violently around me. What the? I then poked my head out to find none other than Shin Sonic heading towards me from the opposite direction. I was sandwiched between two death machines. Oh no! There's nowhere to run! On days 26 through 28, I was only moments away from being spotted by one of the two entities after me. I knew I needed to think fast. I used my powers to hit Shin Sonic with a lightning attack before slipping back into cover.
Who shot those missiles?
Please don't notice me! Please don't notice me!
Come out and face me, coward!
Luckily, Shin Sonic turned and spotted the Death Egg robot. It seemed I'd escaped his notice.
It was you! You'll pay for that!
Shin Sonic ran in and attacked the Death Egg robot. The two of them clamored, the Death Egg using all of his arsenal to try and take the beast down. But even his impressive armor wasn't enough to stop Shin Sonic.
Must kill Shin Sonic in the name of Eggman. Must avenge Eggman.
Please, you're a mere insect to me.
With one final blast from his laser, Shin Sonic defeated the Death Egg robot, melting him into scrap metal. Shin Sonic tore that armor like nothing. If I want to fulfill my destiny, I need to somehow become even stronger than he is. I tried to slip away, but I accidentally made a noise in the process, getting his attention.
Looks like I had the wrong target, but I see you now. Time to show you the might of a real Shin creature, weakling.
I turned to run, and Shin Sonic charged after me. On days 29 through 32, I was being pursued by Shin Sonic. He chased me out from my cover and launched attacks after me. That was close! I could die if I'm hit! I need to be really careful! You're gonna have to do better than that! I powered up an attack, temporarily blinding him. Bet you didn't see that coming! Ugh, I need to keep moving, or I'll be done for!
Get back here, you piece of junk!
While he was stunned, I searched for a new place to hide from the looming threat. I ran and ran until I spotted a cave in the distance. This looks like a good spot. I bolted inside to find loads of rock formations to hide behind. Soon enough, Shin Sonic made his way inside the cave to look for me.
Come out, wherever you are!
Shin Sonic continued to taunt me as I eluded him. I managed to stay out of sight long enough to gain some distance from him. I was able to evade him even though he was really close to catching me. To my dismay, he used his super speed to check the locations I had previously hidden, and I realized I was running out of places to hide. I need to keep moving. This area can't keep me hidden for much longer. As I tried to sneak away, I became entangled in some webs, which left me exposed. No, I'm stuck, and Sonic looks like he's closing in on me. I'm not about to be discovered by some measly spider webs. I used my power to destroy the webs around me and broke free. That was close. Though I had freed myself, I could hear Sonic getting closer. I didn't have much time.
You're around here somewhere, Metal Sonic.
I need a way to get him off my tail. I sent lightning attacks in the opposite direction to trick Shin Sonic, and he continued after them. His perception seems a little rusty. I continued forward, but worried I'd become lost. Dang, looks like I'm lost. Where do I go now? Finally, I discovered a clearing that looked promising, but there was something unusual scattered on the ground. Is that pink fur? I was curious about what this fur could belong to, but I knew that Shin Sonic was close behind.
Your little tricks won't fool me twice, Metal Sonic!
Whatever is in there has to be better than what's out here. I have no choice. I have to flee. I continued through the clearing, but as I ran, I dropped my Chaos Emerald. Oh no! I pushed the wrong button!
There you are!
Just then, Shin Sonic spotted me and began his approach. It's too dangerous to go back now. I continued forward down the route, leaving my emerald behind. Eventually, I made it outside and kept running until suddenly, Shin Amy dropped down in front of me, and I was forced to face yet another Shin monster. On days 33 through 35, I clashed with Shin Amy. She used her tongue attacks on me, and I fought back with electric attacks of my own. We were neck and neck. I decided fleeing would be my best chance of survival, so I turned and ran.
Oh, come on, Sonic. Where are you going?
My judgment was clouded, and I began to listen to her.
Don't run away. I think you should stay here.
She used her supernatural charm on me, causing me to lose control of my body. I started walking towards her against my will. Wait, what the? I can't control my legs! She hit me with a powerful tongue attack, which dealt massive damage, but I felt the mind control charm lifting, and I was able to regain control of my body. Another hit like that could be game over. I need to avoid her charm at all costs. I sought cover behind anything I could to avoid getting hit by her. She was slowly inching closer and closer.
Oh, you don't have to be shy. Come here.
I don't think so. While she was looking the other way, I jumped in for a surprise attack to hit her from behind with my missiles. My attack killed Shin Amy, leaving nothing but schematics and an upgrade in her wake. I grabbed them, causing my form to change once again. I gained extra armor and a total of 4 arms. With my new upgrade, I had 5 more hearts and new Metal Sonic powers. I wonder what these schematics are for.
I won't give you a chance to find out.
Suddenly, Shin Sonic leapt forward and unleashed a laser attack on me, forcing me to run. On days 36 through 39, I was being chased by Shin Sonic throughout the area.
You're too slow, Metal Sonic. I'll catch you in no time.
He'll kill me if he catches me. My upgrades are hardly helping me. I need more speed. Shin Sonic was still faster than me, even with my upgrade. I need to find cover if I'm gonna make it out of here. I found a quick spot to hide and used my scanners to search for nearby buildings. And soon enough, I located an abandoned lab. That seems promising. Without any other options, I scrambled over to the lab to hide. When I made it inside, I listened closely as Shin Sonic surveyed the area, peering into the building. I stayed hidden, just barely out of his eyesight.
I will find you at all costs. You will never win. You will never outrun me.
I knew I couldn't leave while Shin Sonic was nearby. While I waited for him to leave, I decided to investigate the lab. Using my powers, I accessed locked cases and hacked systems for information. I found various schematics that seemed to detail the same machinery. I wonder how I can utilize this stuff. I continued exploring the lab to find a room filled with equipment. This is my chance to put these schematics to use. I used the equipment and materials I found to start building. As I constructed the machine, I noticed it started to resemble Amy Rose. Did I just build Metal Amy?
I prefer the name Rusty Rose.
I braced myself for a fight, thinking I might have just built myself a new enemy. Is this another trap? Did Shin Sonic leave these pieces here for me to find?
What? No. I have no qualms with you. You just brought me into existence.
I realized that there was no way Shin Sonic could have knowledge of this lab, since I was only able to locate it with my powers. She must have been telling the truth.
Well, it sounds like you already have a foe. Would you like a friend to help take him down?
After talking with Rusty Rose, she agreed to join my team to help me take down Shin Sonic. Suddenly, her sensors began beeping.
Danger is incoming. We need to get out of here.
On days 40 through 43, we emerged outside of the hidden lab to find the egg breaker looming over us.
Intruders! Traitors aren't allowed in Eggman facilities!
This is an Eggman laboratory? I guess that's why my scanners picked it up. The robot then charged towards me and used its mechanical arms to take me down. I fought back with my Metal Sonic attacks, but this robot was no joke. He seemed hardly affected by my blows. Rusty Rose, do you see anything that can help me out?
Scanning the area.
She left the area to search for tech that could help me, and I continued fighting the bot. The egg breaker proved to be a worthy opponent. We were neck and neck, and in for a lengthy battle. Wake up! We're both products of Eggman, but it doesn't mean we have to follow him.
Isn't that why Rusty Rose is loyal to you?
She joined my team of her own free will. You should do the same. Follow me, Egg Breaker. I'm stronger than Eggman ever was.
I'm loyal to my creator. Now die!
The Egg Breaker used a flurry of mega punches on me, and it became clear that his programming wouldn't allow him to understand me. We could have been allies, but it seems you've left me no choice. I used a powerful electric attack on the robot to fry his systems, defeating him once and for all, or so I thought.
Activating upgrade!
The Egg Breaker transformed into a stronger form, becoming the Egg Emperor. With his new powers, he sliced me down, demonstrating that he was 10 times stronger than before. I was afraid I couldn't keep up. Is this the end?
Not yet.
I turned to see Rusty Rose powering on a portal.
I'll hold him off. Go through now before it's too late.
I didn't want to leave Rusty Rose, but I knew I needed time to restore my health before I was able to help her. Without knowing where the portal would lead, I rushed through it, escaping the Egg Emperor. On days 44 through 46, I appeared in a dark realm unlike anything I've seen before. The terrain was strange. What is this place? Suddenly, a shadowy version of myself appeared in front of me.
Oh, Metal Shin Sonic. At last, I finally meet you.
Who are you? What do you want?
I'm you, but stronger. I'll find this realm's exit, and when I do, I'll replace you in the real world. Finally, I will be free.
What? You won't get away with this! I readied my weapons and fired, but Shadow Metal sped off before my attacks could reach him. Want a race, do you? Time to show him why I'm the ultimate Shin life form. I sped behind him, using my boosters to catch up. We were both neck and neck in this race.
You may be fast, but I know this realm like the back of my hand.
He took a sharp turn, sending me straight towards a wall. Luckily, I reacted quickly and exploded it with my missiles. We continued to weave through the environment, locked in an epic race, until I saw my portal in the distance. I have to do something. I can't let him get through that portal. I use my powers to shock my shadowy clone, slowing him down. So long! I pressed forward and slipped through the portal just in time. Just before Shadow Metal could follow behind me, the portal shut, trapping him in his shadow realm.
No!
On days 47 through 50, I burst out of the portal and found myself inside of one of Eggman's bases. I looked around and saw that the area had been completely wrecked by a massive battle. What happened here? I hope Rusty Rose is okay. I explored the area and found a path of destruction left by the Egg Emperor. Maybe she was taken by that robot. I headed down the path, on the lookout for Rusty Rose. When I made it to the path's end, I came across a huge lava pit in another part of the lab. As I looked up, I was horrified to see Rusty Rose dangling above the pit.
Metal, help me!
Well, look who decided to show up!
Let her go!
I don't take orders from traitors!
The empowered robot hit his control panel, giving me only a few minutes to act.
You only have a few minutes to save your friend!
If I didn't save Rusty Rose before the time ran out, she would be dropped into the lava.
You don't have much time, and I'm gonna make it harder by trying to kill you!
The Egg Emperor rushed after me, using his retracting arm attacks. I fought back, blasting my lightning attacks, but he was way too strong. I knew the time was ticking down. I was running out of time. Time to use my environment to my advantage. I blasted the Egg Emperor with my lightning missiles, sending him into the lava pit. As he sunk, I turned to the control panel and deactivated the timer. Rusty Rose was saved. After defeating the robot, I gained 5 hearts and new powers. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble, and I realized Shin Sonic must have heard our battle. Take cover, quick! On days 51 through 54, I took cover in a different part of the lab as Shin Sonic followed behind us. He began searching for us around every corner in an attempt to destroy us. We did our best to stay hidden while Sonic hunted for us. Shin Sonic smashed through shelves searching for us.
Where are you, Metal Sonic?
Eventually, Shin Sonic left the area, unable to locate Rusty Rose and I.
If he hasn't found us yet, I don't think he will. This area is probably safe enough. We should set up a base here.
I agree. Let's get to work. We then split up and began collecting the blocks we needed to patch up all the holes left by Shin Sonic. Once all the necessary materials were gathered, I started patching hole after hole to make sure this place was as secure as possible. There were several non-functional Eggman robots scattered around the area, so I began breaking them down and collecting their scraps in hopes they'd be useful. Once I thought I had enough scraps gathered, I went to check on Rose. How's it going, Rusty Rose?
I think we have enough equipment here to start up the lab. Throw any useful items you find in that chest in that room over there, and I'll put it to good use.
Awesome! I'm on it! I then piled up my excess materials and scraps into the chest, until Rose came back to me with an idea.
It just came to me. We can make robots of our own with all the scraps from Eggman's robots. Find more parts for me, and I'll start putting the pieces together.
Great idea! We'll have an unstoppable army! I then sped off to gather more parts from the bots around the area. Everything was going fine until one of the robots suddenly sprang to life.
Destroy, destroy, destroy.
Ah! Die, die, die! In a moment of panic, I quickly struck down the robot and continued on my way. Man, that was scary. Soon enough, I made it back to Rusty Rose, where she had created a sizable army of robots. Wow, you work fast.
Shin Sonic won't stand a chance against us now that we have an army to match his Tails clones.
We ordered the bots to gather information on Shin Sonic's next move. They marched out of the area while Rusty Rose and I watched them go.
Here, take this. I found it while we were building the lab.
She handed me a small device that Eggman had built.
It's a cloaking device. It lets you mimic nearby entities. I think it could be useful in the fight against Shin Sonic, but I would use it wisely. Its power is low and I can't figure out how to recharge it. If it wears off while you're using it, you could be left vulnerable.
Why don't you hold on to it?
I'm strong enough to defend myself against Shin Sonic. You, however, need all the help you can get.
Suddenly, one of our minions returned.
Shin monster sighting.
You go and assess the threat. I'll be here if you need me.
I set off with Rusty Rose's robot and prepared to face the next Shin monster. On days 55 through 57, we arrived at the source of our lead. We came across a stage where Shin Sonic was giving a speech to an army of Tails clones. We listened closely for more information.
We must put a stop to Metal Shin Sonic. He was created to end me, but has since gone rampant with power. He even went so far as to kill his own creator, Eggman. Luckily, I've been able to create a team of other Shin monsters to stop him with. They are far stronger than that metal hedgehog. We are sure to win!
As we listened to his speech, I realized he was revealing the knowledge I needed. Unfortunately, one of the Tails clones spotted us and started to make his way towards us. Rusty Robot, get out of here and report back to Rusty Rose. I'll take it from here. The robot did as I said, and I quickly used my powers to morph into a Tails clone. The perfect disguise! Before I knew it, the suspicious Tails clone flew up to me.
Tails clone, identify yourself.
I'm Tails number 1001, of course. What do you need?
You're not with the rest of us. Follow me. Shin Sonic will want to speak with you.
Sure thing. Before we began moving too far in, I swiftly assassinated the clone before he got me into any trouble. That was close. I better join the others and get as much information as I can. I then moved into the crowd of Tails clones and listened to Shin Sonic's speech.
Now, before I move on to the more important details, there's something I need to take care of first. We have a mole!
Shin Sonic began to quiz the Tails clones.
You there! What is my middle name?
Bobby?
Wrong!
A few clones took too long to answer and were killed before they could even respond. There's no way I'll know the answers. I need to think fast. Soon, it was my turn to answer a question.
You there! What is the name of the owl who raised me?
I used my robotic powers to hack into Sonic's systems and gain the knowledge I needed to survive.
What was that tingle? Anyways, answer the question or die!
There was no way I would know the answer to that question. Luckily, my hacked knowledge gave me the leverage I needed. Longclaw!
Very well. You live. For now.
Ooh, I'm so glad that worked.
Now that we have dealt with our moles, we can talk more about my Shin allies. Shin Shadow is waiting for the metal freak near the Green Hill Zone.
Shin Shadow is waiting for me in Green Hill, huh? Well, I got what I came here for. I began to slowly make my way out of the crowd when out of nowhere, my cloaking device went on the fritz. Not good. I had to get out of here. Thankfully, I was able to sneak out of the area before I was seen. On days 58 through 61, I followed my lead on Shin Shadow's whereabouts. But when I arrived, there was nothing there. This can't be right. It has to be right here. Just then, I looked up and spotted a giant Eggman airship. A floating base, huh? Clever, but not tricky enough to stop me. I used my boosters to fly upwards, and as I got to the top, I spotted Eggman drones scattered all around. If I get caught by one of those, who knows how many more they might send towards me? I need to stay hidden. I decided to risk using the cloaking device again and transform myself into an Eggman drone. I knew it was unreliable, but I needed to be discreet. I managed to evade the eye lines of the drones, slipping right past them without detection. Unfortunately, in the middle of my stealth mission, my cloaking device failed, forcing me to duck into cover. Fine, it looks like I'll just have to do this the hard way. I continued stealthing the old-fashioned way, but I was spotted almost immediately.
Target spotted. Eliminate.
Without hesitation, drones started to fire at me on all cylinders. Catch me if you can! I evaded their attacks and fired back, but they were overwhelming me and I didn't stand a chance. I need to think of something else quick. The drones then circled around me and readied their weapons. I got it! Thinking quickly, I flew into the air just as they unloaded onto me and they ended up destroying themselves with their own cannons. Nice aim! When the drones exploded, they dropped a map that directed me straight towards Shin Shadow's secret base. That next upgrade is gonna be mine. Brace yourself, Shin Shadow! On days 62 through 64, I arrived outside of Shin Shadow's secret base. I snuck around and found Shin Shadow standing before a massive device. He had gathered all 7 Chaos Emeralds, including the one I dropped all those days ago. This can't be good. What is he planning to do with all that power? He turned on the device, and I watched as it began to power up.
Excellent. Once the device is charged, I'll infuse Shin Sonic with the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds. He will be unstoppable.
Oh no, I can't let him do that! I'll have no chance at defeating Shin Shadow if he's that powerful! I tried to sneak in towards the device to power it off before it was too late, but he spotted me.
You! How did you find me?
Your friend Shin Sonic told me.
You can't fool me with your lies.
It's called camouflaging the truth, like I camouflage myself as a Tails clone.
You're a traitorous fool, and you're going to die.
Sonic isn't very good at spotting moles, but maybe he can spot this hedgehog. I rushed in and used my powers to try and fight Shin Shadow, but he was just as strong as I was. Unsure if I would win the fight, I flew up towards his machine and knocked the green emerald loose from it. Haha! One down! Unfortunately, Shadow turned around and grabbed it before me.
Too slow, hedgehog.
He activated the emerald and held it upwards.
Chaos control!
He then teleported behind me, landing multiple blows with his Shadow Quill attacks. I tried to get a hit on him, but with the emerald in his possession, I was no match for him. I need to get one of those emeralds to match his strength. I tried speeding over to the machine, but Shadow caught on to my plan.
Not so fast.
Soon enough, Shadow used his new power to form a cage around me. I was now trapped with no way to escape.
Now I'll have to repair my device, you traitor. But that's all right. In the meantime, I'll have the pleasure of handing you over to Shin Sonic himself.
Good. I've been looking for an opportunity to take him down.
Oh, you won't be taking anyone down. Shin Sonic will have the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds the next time you face him. And he will finally wipe you off the face of this world.
He then teleported me out of the area and into an unknown location. On days 65 through 67, I was transported in Shin Shadow's prison. I knew I needed to break out of my cage before Shin Shadow could repair his device, and before Shin Sonic arrived to face me. I tried to use my electric attacks, but the cage absorbed them. It's like this stupid cage was designed specifically to dampen my powers. Shin Shadow must have been ahead one step after all. I tried to bulldoze the side of the cage with brute force, but that didn't work either. I can't give up now. There's too much on the line. I realized that if the cage absorbed my attacks, I needed to launch an attack it wouldn't be able to absorb. Fine. You want power? I'll give you power! I unleashed a powerful electric attack in the cage. At first, it seemed unaffected, but in seconds, the walls began overloading. The cage opened up, and I thought I was home free. Finally! I started to leave until suddenly alarms began to go off. I quickly ran off into the next room to find that it was filled with laser traps. I'm way too big to fit through these. I'll get sliced in half if I try to move into it. Just then, I remembered I could use my transforming power to morph into a smaller form. Luckily, I still had Tails form in my system, so I quickly transformed into him. Not sure how long this will last, so I gotta act fast. With my form changed, I began making my trek through the laser room. I was able to fly around and dodge the deadly beams, but soon reached an area that was impossible to pass through. Unfortunately for me, my tech malfunctioned again and I morphed back to my Metal Shin Sonic form. Now I definitely am not able to fit through that. I surveyed my surroundings to look for alternate routes, but there weren't any I could see. There has to be a way to protect myself from these lasers. I then turned to see a set of switches on the side of the room. I knew that it would be risky to activate them, but I was out of options. Well, if something does go wrong, maybe I'll at least distract Shin Shadow long enough to stop him from fixing his machine. I decided it was worth the risk. As I suspected, some of the switches activated more traps. The first opened a pitfall trapdoor, but luckily I was able to save myself by flying. I regained my footing and tried another switch. It triggered even more lasers, which I narrowly dodged. This place is a death trap. Only one switch left. Either it saves me or I'm dead. Finally, I flipped the last switch, and luckily, it managed to deactivate the lasers. I've had enough of this funhouse. I finally passed through, only to find Shin Shadow waiting for me around the corner.
Just who I was expecting to see. Where do you think you're going?
On days 68 through 72, Shin Shadow chased me throughout his base. I was unfamiliar with the area, so I had to think fast as I made my way over unexpected gaps. Unfortunately, Shin Shadow was agile, so it was impossible to escape him. As I ran, I came across a crack in the wall. I quickly slipped into it as Shadow continued to search for me.
Show yourself, coward!
Once he passed by, I tried to sneak around behind him, trying to avoid anything that made noise. Just as I thought I was safe, I had accidentally stepped on a pressure plate, causing an alarm to blare and giving away my location.
There you are.
I kept running until I found myself back outside where the device and Chaos Emeralds were being held. He had repaired nearly everything. I shot my lightning balls into the device, but it didn't even make a dent. Nothing? I'll try something even stronger. I backed up, preparing a powerful attack, but Shin Shadow teleported in front of me.
What do you think you're doing?
He turned around and activated the device. no! In a desperate attempt to stop the machine, I used my electric powers, trying to fry its systems. Sadly, it was too late and the machine empowered Shin Shadow instead.
How do you think you'll win now? I have the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds.
On days 73 through 75, I was fighting against the ultimate lifeform Shin Shadow. He used his newly empowered firebolt attacks on me, and I barely managed to dodge them. I fought back with my lightning lance attacks to try and keep him at bay, but he's far stronger than when I last faced him.
You fool! You're nothing but a machine. I'll turn you back into the worthless materials you were made with.
I'll show you what this machine can really do. I was able to use my powers to dwindle down the monster bit by bit. I quickly realized that the only way to win this is to play the long game and slowly weaken him. I used my powers to knock one of the emeralds off of Shin Shadow, causing him to revert back to his previous form.
My emeralds! How dare you!
With him left vulnerable, I finally struck him down with a powerful attack, defeating him once and for all. It's not nice to litter. I took the upgrade, gaining 5 hearts and new powers. But something felt wrong. I felt like I was losing control of my body. What is happening to me? Suddenly, Rusty Rose entered the area and ran to my side.
The robots alerted me to your location. What happened?
I defeated Shin Shadow and took his upgrade, but something's wrong.
Shin Sonic must have implanted a virus in it. I'll have to check your components before it's too late.
Rusty Rose ran in close and began searching for a cure on her device.
You'll have to manually remove the virus by going into the virtual realm, but if you fail, you'll die both here and in real life.
I have to try. Send me there.
Copy that. Good luck.
She then activated something within me and I was sent into a virtual world. On days 76 through 79, I reappeared in a virtual realm. This must be my computer system. I had to find that virus and crush it before it kills me first. I flew around the digital world, searching for the virus. Eventually, I came across a shadowy creature roaming the area. There you are! You're going down! The virus scurried away as I flew in and started to fire attacks at it. It was small yet quick, so it was able to dodge all of my attacks. Luckily, after a while, I managed to corner it. Nowhere to run now, virus!
That's what you think, Metal Shin Sonic. I can go anywhere within your digital mind.
Yeah, right. That's big talk from a stupid little computer program.
Is that what you think? We'll see.
That's it! I'm gonna squish you right here, right now! I began to slowly move in towards the pesky virus until he spoke once more.
I was just distracting you while my download finished, you idiots! Battle data download completes, becoming the ultimate opponent.
The virus transformed suddenly and turned itself into my ultimate rival. I knew how I fought and my weaknesses, and it planned to use them against me. The virus moved in, and I prepared to clash. It used its power energy attacks on me, and it was clear it knew my weaknesses. Regardless, I powered through and fought back with all of my Metal Sonic abilities. The virus was a tough opponent. Thanks to its upgrades, it can predict all of my attacks. If they can predict what I normally think of, then I'll just have to give them a surprise. I fired rockets behind the virus, distracting it. With its back now turned to me, I hit it with a finishing blow. With the virus gone, my life was saved. I looked down and saw that it had dropped something. I picked them up and found that it was a digital lead on the next Shin creature, Shin Knuckles. Sweet! Now I just need to return to the real world. But how am I supposed to get out of here? On days 80 through 83, I explored the virtual realm for a way to escape. I wandered aimlessly before spotting something in the distance. I knew there'd be some way out of here. I approached what appeared to be a portal locked within a huge structure, but it was sealed shut. This is definitely my way out of here. I launched a few attacks at it, but to my dismay, none of them worked. This thing is sealed shut. How do I get inside there? After a bit more inspecting, I quickly realized it was a puzzle. I interacted with one of the holes in the wall, and magically a giant X appeared within it. A giant X? What does that mean? Suddenly, a giant O appeared in a different hole on the structure, and I quickly understood that I was playing a game of tic-tac-toe.
Solve the puzzle in front of thee. Win at least 2 out of 3. Fail to win and you shall be trapped forever here with me.
Dude, it's tic-tac-toe. You don't have to be so cryptic.
Scanning database for more generic responses.
Okay, well you don't need to be too generic.
Win game twice to leave world. failed.
Hey, I began the puzzle with the AI determined to leave this digital realm. The AI was smart, but I managed to use my wits to get 3 X's in a row. I had won the first round, and my confidence skyrocketed. Beat that, you bot!
Beginner's luck. Prepare for next round.
The board reset and we began the next round. It was a close game. Luckily, I had the AI right where I wanted it, and went to place the winning X. Somehow though, it got placed in the wrong square. The AI had rigged the game. Hey, stop cheating! I would have won that round fair and square!
Squares aren't used in this game. Tic-tac-toe is a game consisting of circles and X's. Speaking of, haha, I win.
I knew the AI wasn't going to admit to its cheating, so I devised a plan for the final round in case it made the same attempt.
In tic-tac-toe, the shapes are placed on alternating turns.
Yeah, let's just get on to round 3. We began the final round, but I kept a keen eye on the AI's moves. I've got my eye on you.
If I am correct that you are also a robot, you do not have eyes, and therefore I do not understand your comment.
I watched carefully, and just as the AI was about to place its winning move, I ran in and gave it a shock to its system, causing it to overload and forfeit its turn. I quickly flew in and replaced the square with an X of my own, winning me the game.
That was so rude. I didn't think I was capable of feeling emotions, but you have filled me with rage.
The AI glitched out and the door to the portal then opened for me to go through. Take that, AI! I finally overcame the challenge and escaped the realm. On days 84 through 86, I appeared back in the real world, outside of Shin Shadow's base. I looked around, but Rusty Rose was nowhere to be found. Rusty Rose? Where are you? On the ground nearby, I found the note. It was a letter from Shin Knuckles. If you wish to see your precious partner again, then come and find me. Love, Shin Knuckles. That monster! As I mulled over the letter, I realized Shin Knuckles was the last entity I needed to defeat if I wanted to stop Shin Sonic. Watch out, Shin Knuckles! I'm gonna slay you and save Rusty Rose! I flew up and looked around, until I spotted giant tracks on the ground clearly made by overgrown spiked gloves. This is the perfect lead. I just need to follow this and I'll find my next target. I continued to follow the tracks until eventually I found who I was looking for. Rusty was locked up in a cage with some water.
Metal, help me get out of here! This water is filling up quickly!
Don't worry, I got you! I sped in, but a defensive barrier sprung into place before I could get any closer. What gives? Whatever, I'll just break this thing. I tried to use my power to break open the shield, but to my luck, it wouldn't break. Knuckles must have known I'd come here. Just then, the water level in the cage rose higher.
Oh, the water's going up fast. There's a power supply around. Maybe that will disable the shield.
Good thinking, Rose. I'll go check it out. I made my way to the power supply, hoping I could save Rose in time before she drowned. On days 87 through 89, I reached the power source of the shield that was keeping me from Rusty Rose. There's gotta be a way to turn this off. Luckily, Knuckles left a sign on the shield for himself that read the key is under the rock. Under the rock? Huh, he must have left a spare key around here. I began smashing the rocks around me until I found the key to unlock the shield. Just as I was about to grab it, a random flicky flew down and snagged it. Hey, that's mine! I then took to the skies to chase after the bird thief. I promise I won't eat you if you just stop! The flicky refused my pleas as I chased it through the sky in an attempt to get the key back. I tried to blast it out of the sky, but it managed to dodge all of my attacks. The bird was quick as it continued to fly away, and if I didn't catch it soon, it would get away. As it got further away, I suddenly got an idea and used Rusty Rose's tech to morph myself into the flicky. Hey Flicky, look at me! Surprisingly, the bird stopped and came flying over to me. It's working! It's working! When it got close enough, I quickly shocked the Flicky back, killing him and causing him to drop the key. I'm a genius! I dropped down to pick it up. Unfortunately, I transformed back into my true form, but my boosters weren't working. Oh no, I'm out of fuel! Hang in there just a little longer, Rusty Rose! On days 90 through 92, I was looking for a place to refuel my jet engines. This isn't good. I need to find fuel somewhere if I want to make it back in time to save Rusty Rose. I continued walking until I made my way into the city. When I entered, a civilian spotted me and started screaming.
Someone call the military! There's another Shin monster entering the city!
Ugh, just my luck. The civilian ran off, and I continued to move throughout the city in search of a gas station before the military came to stop me. After a bit of time, I finally found what I was looking for. There we go! I can finally fill up and fly back to save Rose. Before I could get close enough to fill up, a military mech dropped in before me.
Stop right there, Shin Monster. Your reign of tyranny ends here.
Before he could unload his bullets into me, I formed a brilliant idea. What do you think you're doing? I almost have the Shin Monster.
I'm confused. You are the Shin Monster?
Wrong! I'm undercover, you idiot! Look! I then used my cloaking powers to morph into the mech in front of me. See? I'm one of you! You totally blew my disguise! I'm gonna report you to the higher-ups.
No. Wait, I got a distress call that there was a Shin threat in this area. Just tell me where he went and I'll leave you to your business.
Sure, but don't let it happen again. He went that way.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
He left the area in search of the Shin Monster. Once he was out of view, I morphed back into my Shin state and filled up my boosters with fuel. Perfect! I'm all filled up. Time to get back to Rose and take down Shin Knuckles. I then flew away from the city and headed back to where I left Rusty Rose.
Metal Sonic, I don't have much time left.
I quickly used the key on the barrier, shutting off the shield. Hold on! I'm coming to save you! On days 93 through 95, I ran over to Rose and began using my strength to try and bust open the cage. What's this thing made out of?
I don't know, but if you don't break it soon, I'll be a goner.
I tried breaking down the cage with my electric ability, but it was no use. It was too tough. I looked around the area to try and spot Shin Knuckles, but he was nowhere to be found. Come out and face me, Knuckles! Let my commander go and I'll go easy on you! Just then, a nearby speaker powered on and Shin Knuckles began speaking.
Why would I do that? This is just the beginning of my master plan.
Just then, the water level rose to its max limit.
She's sure to die now.
No! Stop this now! I then used all the strength I had and spun dashed into the cage, shattering it to pieces. Rose was now free and safe from harm.
Metal, you're my hero. Thank you so much.
There's no time for thank yous, Rose. Run while you still can. Rusty Rose ran away. Just then, the ground trembled as Shin Knuckles was seen re-entering the area.
You'll pay for letting my hostage go free. I'm going to turn you to scrap.
Shin Knuckles charged in fiercely, closing the distance between us. Knuckles and I went into a ferocious battle. He used his powerful fire attacks, launching large pieces of molten rock at me. I retaliated with my electric abilities and my speed. We were in an endless battle, neither of us giving up. It could go either way, but I wasn't backing down.
I've had enough of this. Time to end it.
He caused a massive earthquake, making me take loads of damage and making my footing unstable. I quickly used my boosters to fly up into the air and avoid his reach. But you can't get me up here!
Oh really? Are you sure about that?
Before I knew it, Shin Knuckles jumped high up towards me and smacked me back to the ground, completely disabling my boosters in the process. That's it! You caused too much damage to me and my friends. Time to eliminate you! Remembering what I did with Rose's cage, I powered up my spin dash again and set myself towards him for one final strike. Luckily, I was able to defeat him with my powered up attack while also causing him to drop my final upgrade. I then grabbed it and stood victorious as I felt a surge of power flow through me. I grew larger in size and my strength was more powerful than ever. I feel incredible! Just then, Rusty Rose came out of hiding and approached me.
Thanks for saving me, Metal. Now all that's left is Shin Sonic.
This will be my toughest battle yet. Let's get back to the base and make our final preparations. On days 96 through 98, I returned to my base with Rusty Rose, adrenaline still pumping from the fight with Shin Knuckles. Rose and I started the preparations to take on Shin Sonic for what he had in store for us. As Rusty Rose and I went over our plans, we realized we needed to expand our army. We tossed around ideas, unsure of the best path to take.
I have a plan. While I was in captivity, I was able to scan Shin Knuckles.
She gave me the blueprints to create our very own Metal Knuckles army.
Included is a list of ingredients you'll need, Metal Sonic. Gather these, and we can bring our Metal Knuckles army to life.
I set off to gather scrap from around the area, looking everywhere to get the materials for our Metal Knuckles army. With each piece I found, my excitement grew, knowing we were one step closer to taking on Shin Sonic. Together, Rusty Rose and I worked tirelessly assembling our Shin Knuckles army piece by piece. Before we knew it, our hard work paid off. The entire Metal Knuckles army stood ready for battle. This army of Metal Knuckles is incredible! I looked around, pleased with what we had created. We will take down Shin Sonic! Together! Unfortunately, our bots were brand new and didn't have any combat experience.
Looks like they'll need some training, Metal. How about you show them a thing or two?
You're right. Listen up, men. Let's get some fresh air and start your training. We soon arrived back at a previous obstacle where I first had to learn how to jump over lava. Alright, let's see you guys jump. Some of the bots began jumping through the course and were making good progress. Sadly, not all of them made it as I watched some of them fall off and into the lava.
Metal Sonic, sir. Do we have to do this? Those bots just died.
Hey, I did this course while running from a giant beast. If I can do it, you can too.
Yes, sir.
With a little more motivation, the bots began clearing the gaps and finally completed the obstacle course. After that, we moved on to our strength challenge, where every bot was set up to test their strength against me, Metal Shin Sonic. Come on, who's first?
I'll do it. Rah!
The Knuckles bot charged in and used all of the strength he had to try and take me down. At this rate, we'll never be able to take on Shin Sonic.
You're right. Everyone, charge in!
Suddenly, all of the bots worked together and charged in to take me down. They were working as a team to do as much damage as they could. Now that's good teamwork. Very nice. The bots cheered and I realized I finally managed to rally up a team of powerful bots. Just then, Rusty Rose walked up to us.
We should head back to our base to get these guys some final upgrades.
Sounds good. Let's move out. Back at the base, we prepared for the final battle, upgrading the bots and running final checks.
I've completed the upgrades.
Great! We finally have the upper hand!
With these bots, we have a much better chance of taking on Shin Sonic.
Rusty Rose was right. We had gotten this far with a lot of luck, and I knew it was running out. We needed to be strategic if we were gonna win this fight. It's not over yet. Shin Sonic is my ultimate test, and I won't back down. It's time to show everyone what I'm made of!
I'll be right there with you in the fight.
Now with my army of Metal Knuckles ready and Rusty Rose by my side, we set off towards the final battle. On day 99, we arrived back where it all started, outside of Eggman's lab. My army and I stood ready behind me, but the place was empty. Not a trace of his whereabouts anywhere.
From what I investigated, this is where Shin Sonic set up his base of operations.
That's strange. I figured he would have an army of his own waiting for us.
Wait, look closer. There's traps set up everywhere.
I looked ahead to find the whole area had been booby-trapped.
One step on those could be bad news. Be careful, Metal. Shin Sonic is really up to no good this time.
Okay, I'll go first. If anything goes wrong, I should be able to take the hit. I then moved ahead, trying my best to avoid the traps. But soon enough, I heard a click under my feet. Before I could react, the ground began to tremble and the floor caved in as I plummeted into the depths below.
Metal, are you all right?
All good. There seems to be a secret tunnel down here, though. Before I could investigate it further, the sound of battle erupted from above me. Is everyone all right? Sound off, troops!
The Tails clones are here! It's an invasion!
Rose watched as Tails clones attacked our Knuckles army. Rose, be careful! Do you need my help?
No, Metal. If the Tails clones are here, then Shin Sonic can't be far behind. You need to investigate the area.
All right, stay safe. I'll go searching for Shin Sonic. With determination, I pushed forward, trusting that our Metal Knuckles army would fight strong. Eventually, I made it into a massive tunnel system where Shin Sonic seemed to be lurking. As I traversed the underground tunnel, I suddenly came to a halt in front of a massive door. I tried to break down the door, but it wouldn't budge. It looked as though I needed to solve a puzzle. As I observed the door more closely, I noticed that there were different colors with empty pedestals. It looks like I need to find something to match each color. Looking around the room, I spotted various items tucked away, each matching the colors of the symbols on the door. I gathered the things from the room and used them to match the colors of the puzzle. I hope this works! Once all the blocks were in place, the door finally opened and I hurried through. On day 100, I arrived in the next room, where Shin Sonic stood waiting for me.
Well. If it isn't the cheap knockoff, you and I both know I'm the superior being.
Tell yourself whatever you need to. You know I'm a threat. That's why you tried to kill me all those days ago.
And look where that got you. I was able to crush everything you loved and stole your power away. You're weak, and all this struggle will soon be for nothing.
You say I'm weak, but who managed to take down every Shin creature you sent my way? I was built to be your end.
You only succeeded because of the help you had, and where are they now?
You're right. I did have help, but they've given me all the strength I need to defeat you here myself.
Is that so? Well, stop talking and turn those words into action.
Do your worst! Shin Sonic charged forward and I braced myself for the final battle. The two of us clashed. It was a battle of the Shins. I used every upgrade in my arsenal to deal as much damage as possible, but it wasn't enough. His Shin form was heavily armored and his Hyper Beam attacks were dealing significant damage to me. I fired a flurry of rockets at him, seemingly weakening him a bit. How does it feel to have met your match?
Like this town isn't big enough for the both of us.
He used his Hyper Beam attacks to deal powerful blows. I was knocked back, but nothing could stop me now. I lunged forward and fought back with my lightning ball attacks. It was neck and neck. He used his speed to dodge my attacks, and my patience was growing thin.
Those upgrades have made you stronger, but they're useless if you can't hit me.
Shin Sonic continued to blast me with his Hyper Beam laser, hitting with massive damage. I tried to dodge his blasts, but the area we were in worked in his favor, making it hard for me to get a hit in. He's too strong! I need speed! I charged up my spin dash attack, causing my body to start sparking with energy.
What are you doing? Just die already!
Shin Sonic tried to blast me again with his Hyper Beam, but it did nothing to me. I was spinning so fast that anything he threw at me bounced right off.
No, this can't be!
Now's my chance! Once my velocity peaked, I bolted in at supersonic speeds, landing on Shin Sonic for the finishing blow. I had finally defeated Shin Sonic. He died, leaving me victorious. It's over! I'm the true ultimate life form! Don't forget to click the link below to start your journey in Miraibo GO. Thanks Miraibo GO for sponsoring this video.